Long ago, in the southern lands of the Korean peninsula, three mighty confederacies rose from the mists of time. Together they were called the Samhan, or Three Hans. Covering 4,000 li, each Han had its own character, its own spirit, its own destiny. The Chinese grouped them with the Dongyi, the eastern barbarians. This is the story of Jinhan, Mahan, and Byeonhan. To the east lay Jinhan, a land of mountains and valleys where warriors trained and shamans spoke with the gods. Across its northern border were the Yemek peoples. They were close to the Wa, the name for the Japanese, whose language theirs resembled. Their language was not mutually intelligible with that of their neighbors in Mahan. The Jinhan people, many of whom tattooed their faces and patterned their bodies, were skilled in iron, forging blades and tools which gave them strength in war and in farming. Their weapons included shields, spears, and the bow, including a small short wooden bow. Their shaman was called the Great Diviner, who oversaw rituals and divination concerning state affairs. Archaeologically, we have found ritual pits and sacrifice zones in the Gyeongju Basin, which is Shila's heartland. The Chinese records mention that Jinan had 12 countries, and these small statelets would eventually join together, planting the seeds and growing into what would eventually become Shila. To the west spread Mahan, the largest of the three Hans, a wide confederacy of 54 tribes. Here, fertile plains and rivers brought in rich harvests. Its north bordered the Chinese Lelang Commandery, and Chinese records say its south was bordered with the Wa, or Japanese. They made cloth similar to cloth made in China. They planted grain and millet, but didn't know ox plowing. Their houses were low and small. We've found shallow pit houses with clay floors. They made earthen structures on damp land, similar to those made in China. When someone died, they used a wooden coffin, dug a pit in the earth, put the coffin inside the pit, but did not add an outer coffin frame. Mahan was 100 li across with over 100,000 households. It was known for its size and abundance. But with so many chiefs and so many voices, unity was fragile. From its soil, however, new kingdoms would rise, most famously Baekje. Between Jinhan and Mahan stood Byeonhan, the middle land. Though smaller than the other two, Byeonhan was resourceful and fierce. Like Jinhan, Byeonhan also had 12 statelets. Its people controlled trade routes and became masters of iron smelting. Their iron goods traveled far and wide, across seas to Japan and deep into China, because various peoples came to obtain it. They used their iron for tribute as well as a medium of exchange. They were noted for agriculture and sericulture, the raising of silkworms and the production of silk. They had shamans in their state. They enjoyed singing and dancing, and they would take brides by giving grain as a bride price. Over time, Byeonhan's spirit of resilience would transform into the kingdom of Gaia, known to the Korean chronicles for its superiority in iron armor and weaponry. Though divided into three, the Samhan were bound together by trade, by shared beliefs, and by their struggles against larger powers beyond their borders. They were not yet great kingdoms, but they were the roots from which Korea's three kingdoms would later grow. Archaeologically, they are attested. Spirit pole sanctuaries described in the Chinese records correlate with fenced ritual sites found in Samhan zones. And so, in the age before Shila, Baekje, and Gaia, the Samhan flourished. A tapestry of tribes and confederacies, rich in iron, culture, and ambition. The story of the Hans is not just one of division, but of beginnings. The dawn before the kingdoms, the foundation of Korea's ancient past.